I think I got up at like 9.
Hmm.
I had the DTs real bad though. It was bad. I
It's a
drank
beer
way too.
coma. It's good.
I
Just a
drank
good
way too
beer coma.
much. I had between a beer coma and then the shots of tequila that I was doing were ridiculous.
Oh my god.
They weren't like a shot. They were like a glass.
It's like
Yeah, the bartender that we had it at the in the office building, and they got a bartender and everything, like, so it was really cool. And I don't know. I made up a conversation. I started a conversation with a guy, and he was pouring them heavy for me. So
oh god.
That sounds
It was funny when Maggie texted us that you're out of commission.
oh yeah, I was pretty much barfing in the backseat of the car, so it's all right.
so that was at an office party?
Yeah, my office party. Yeah.
That sounds very, very unprofessional.
No, it was very professional. Apparently, it was a lot of fun. You should when we did it when we had our party last year. We did it in the city, and it was even crazier. So this one was tamed.
Yeah, we can see it. It says Merry Christmas from what? From the crew at One Pick Wonders. Nice. Very nice. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, I alienated our Jewish viewers, but sorry.
Who was the guy? He was reading off, it was some singer he was reading off a cue card or something, and he said it was some rapper or singer or something, and he said he's reading off cue cards, and he says, "Merry Christmas and Happy Chanukah."
Well, Dan's Jewish. Are you offended by the Christmas?
No, I think it's silly to be offended by such nonsense. There's much worse things to be offended by.
I'm grateful for the for Jewish people because on Christmas it's the reason they keep things open. My dad used to tell me that that's the reason Chinese places and movie theaters are still open because the Jewish people don't have anything to do on Christmas.
Well, I think they open movies on Christmas now. Now everybody goes because people don't like sitting around with their families anymore because they just want to punch each other after maybe like 2:00 in the afternoon. So they go to the movies instead.
They were showing the Saturday Night Live Christmas Classic special, and they have one of those video segments with the puppets, and the song is "Christmas for the Jews," and it shows on Christmas Day all the Jews have the free run of the town, because all the non-Jews are inside, so they're like running around the streets having a blast. They have the whole streets to themselves, and they say, "It's Christmas for the Jews."
Well, I never had that. I'm related to some Catholic people, so I've had to do some Christmas stuff. So
yeah, it's like me and Dan's boss, Rand. His wife is Catholic, and he's been celebrating Christmas for like 35 years.
I actually have a cousin who's Catholic. He was born and raised Catholic by his mother.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a long story about the whole thing, but it's interesting.
And they had the Adam Sandler Hanukkah song. Do you remember that? The Adam Sandler Hanukkah song?
Yep.
They had
Yep.
they had the NPR radio with who's the guy that shot the gal on the movie set? Baldwin.
Yeah, I like that's the one I like the best. As much as you might not like his politics, but the one with the sweaty balls.
The sweaty balls.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite ones.
That's a classic.
I think it's hilarious.
Well, that was when Saturday Night Live was funny 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's sweaty.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then the ladies who are the announcers are like, "Yes, I can't wait to put those balls in my mouth."
He did a funny one with Betty White. Did that kind of stuff.
So we need to regroup this week. This is One Pick Wonders giving you the best or worst 4 picks for NFL. If you watched last week, they were the worst 4 picks.
I think Bob is leading the pack now.
Did
Bob,
anyone
yeah.
win last? Did
No,
any
we
of
hit
the
the golden
teams in the
sombrero.
NFL win last week? I think maybe all
No.
the teams lost.
No, we won. I think most of them won, except for your pick. But we just didn't hit the spread. We just didn't cover the spreads because I forget who we picked. I don't even remember. That's terrible, isn't it?
I picked Minnesota last week. Brian picked
Yeah, you got
Buffalo.
blown out on like the first game of the week.
Yeah, I actually bobbed Brian's pick. So I won money off of Brian's pick because I bobbed.
You picked the Eagles.
I picked the Eagles. They did not cover because my Bears backdoor covered that shit.
I know, man. It was like 2 minutes ago. Justin Fields throws like this Hail Mary pass. No one's covering him.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand the anger I had at that point.
That was such a backdoor cover, man. That was like
I mean, he had just
that was a classic backdoor cover.
and he had just come back from like going to the locker room or something. Where he got
Yeah.
Like it's like
I mean, you could tell the Eagles like didn't care that they didn't even guard him. They didn't even care. It was like they were 2 minutes ago. The Eagles weren't even fucking trying.
So
Yeah, they
Bob
didn't
is
care.
bet opposite Brian. I'm the producer. Bottom left is BKO, the sports betting guru.
But we do have bet opposite. We have bet opposite O'Haron
That's not a
too.
thing, douchebag. And the top left is Big Danny D, the 5 head of knowledge, and the top right is Ryan, the office. Yeah, they had a segment on ESPN this morning about the Phillies fans booing Santa and throwing snowballs at him.
That was 55 years ago or so.
if you watch the Bills game, they got a penalty for throwing snowballs.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see I mean, that was an absolute
Yeah.
mess.
Well, and people also forget. My favorite was a Browns game like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and the ref blew a call, and he was trying to get off the field, and at the time for some reason they didn't have plastic bottles; they had like glass. And like a fan hit the ref right in the head, and it showed like the ref with the cut on the side of his head as he's getting escorted off the field. That was all over the news. But I love how they always bring up the Santa Claus thing from 60 years ago. But hey, this guy actually got hurt. This like referee got hit in the head with a fucking beer bottle.
Do you know the whole scenario?
And they don't bring that up. And they fucking don't bring that up.
But do you know what happened? That whole thing wasn't just a blown call. The whole thing was he threw a flag. He actually changed the flags after this. The flags actually were made with a yellow cloth and it had BBs inside. And they don't do that anymore. And he hit
Orlando Brown?
Yeah, he hit Orlando Brown in the face and the eye with the flag, and he called a penalty. And so he started pushing the referee, and they threw him out for that. But then everyone started throwing shit onto the field and at the officials. So they actually had to pull everyone off the field.
Yeah, and they showed.
And they finished the game at like a half hour after everybody left.
They showed a ref getting hit in the fucking head with a beer bottle and the cut on the side of his head.
Yeah.
But yet they still want to bring up the Eagles thing that happened 60 years ago.
Well,
that guy just died a couple years ago too. The Santa Claus guy.
Yeah.
They did a story about him in the paper.
This morning they said that Santa Claus still comes to the link, but if it snows and there's snow in the stadium, they will not let him come in the stadium. For the thinking that he'll have snowballs thrown at him.
Well, that rarely happens anymore anyway.
But they said today, they said Santa still comes to the games, but they won't allow him in the stadium if there's snow.
There's so many,
That's not really an issue.
I'm actually glad that you bring this up because I'm tired of the Philly hate. This is bullshit of the Philly fans. How about a couple years ago, the Dodgers and after a Dodgers and San Francisco game, in the parking lot, 2 guys got in a fight. One guy got killed. The fucking guy beat the shit out of the guy and killed him.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't a fight. They just beat him up. It was a San Francisco Giants fan. These guys just saw him and beat him up and almost killed him. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, but they don't bring that up. But they bring the fucking Santa Claus thing that happened 60 years ago.
It's on the West Coast. Nobody cares about the West Coast.
Yeah, how about they don't have they used to have Oakland, San Francisco preseason games, but they didn't because a couple people got shot at the stadium because the fans got into a fight. And then if you go back to the 80s, I think it was the early 90s, they had baseball giveaway day at Dodger Stadium. And something happened, umpire blew a call, so everyone started throwing the baseball down at the field and they had to forfeit the game.
Yeah, see this stuff that only Dan knows because he's the 5 head of knowledge. He knows this shit. but nobody else knows because they only talk about the Philly fans. It's fucking. It's so. I hate. It's so annoying. Every talk show you go, they still talk about how bad the Philly fans are. Like we're the only bad fans in the fucking. It's nonsense. It's fucking nonsense.
I went to Darryl Strawberry's first game as a major league player, of course, for the Mets, and they had it was seat cushion day, and the seat cushions became frisbees, and there were players walking off with huge stacks of seat cushions. You know, and then they would finally get the field clear, you know, so they could restart the game, and the stupid announcer would go, "Ladies and gentlemen, please refrain from throwing the seat cushion." And as soon as he said seat cushion, everyone started throwing them on the field again. I'm like, you dumbass! If you had it announced, because then everyone's like, "Yeah!" and starts throwing them on the field again. So if you're wondering why they don't have seat cushion day anymore.
You probably needed those at Shea because your ass would hurt from sitting in those seats. I sat in seats in Shea Stadium, and I got to be honest, probably the most uncomfortable baseball stadium that I've ever sat in seats at. And I mean, I was in box seats, like three rows from the field. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just telling you how uncomfortable they were. You were sat at an angle. You were put in there I'm like this, like. And they're like amazing seats, but they're so uncomfortable. That stadium was an absolute shithole. I'm glad they got rid of it.
I remember as a kid watching a Bills game. Who was the old coach for the Bills with the gray hair?
Mark
Levy.
Yeah. When he was coach, it was a Bills game, and I forget who they were playing, but every time the other team scored, the player would get pelted with snowballs in the end zone, and the coach on the other team actually pulled the team off the field.
Really?
Off the field, yeah, because the fans,
Wow.
any player that scored for the other team was just getting pelted with snowballs in the end zone.
Well, it's not good if it kept happening over and over again. There are probably other problems for the Bills in that game.
Well, I still like when Sam White got on the bullhorn or speaker thing, and this is like in the late '80s, and he said, "Stop throwing snowballs. This is Cincinnati. We are not Cleveland." No, Scott, you remember that?
Oh, that's funny.
Scott, you remember that when he did that?
No, I didn't know that happened. Stop throwing
We're
snowballs.
not Cleveland.
This is Cincinnati. This is not Cleveland.
Oh, that's pretty
No,
funny.
Sam White was awesome, man. I love that guy. He was good.
So I'm picking the 49ers. How are they looking for the playoffs? I didn't check.
They're in.
They're in. Are they clinched? Did they clinch?
Yeah, I think they clinched the division. They still have a shot at the number 2 seed.
Something to play for. With the Commanders were on a hot streak, winning 6 of 7 games prior to their back-to-back meetings with the Giants. They had back-to-back meetings with the Giants?
They played the Giants, had a bye, and played the Giants again, and just a weird
Fucked up
scheduling
schedule is
thing.
that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very weird.
With a tie and a loss. During their streak, they were 6-0-1 against the spread, but found themselves 0-2 against the spread over the last 2 games. Meanwhile, the 49ers, who have clinched the NFC West, are now fighting for playoff seeding. 9-5 against the spread this season. 6-1 against the spread over the last 7, including the success in their last 5 straight. Washington's success has primarily come from the defense, allowing just 19.7 points per game. Front 7. The front 7, whether Chase Young is on the field or not, has been strong this year.
Oh, that's right, by the way.
Point him out, and get him out of here. You don't live in Cleveland.
He was saying, like, if you see someone throwing snowballs, point them out, get them out of here. Dude, that was one of my favorite. Oh, man, Sam White was funny as hell.
The the communist secondary has been strong all year. I'm talking about the front seven, but the secondary has gone from one of the worst to a DVOA ranking 15th overall. But can they contain the firepower of the 49ers? Most people will point to Brock Purdy being the backup, but he is more than capable of game management, playing as well as Garoppolo. Not having Deebo Samuel obviously hurts, but with Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle playing well, they also have the added bonus of Christian McCaffrey's pass catching. They just brought him on recently, didn't they?
Yeah, a few weeks ago they traded for him.
Purdy should do just fine. The question is whether or not the communist offense can withstand the assaults of the vaunted 49ers defense. So their O-line, the communist O-line is going to have issues containing the pass rush. And unless Brian Roberts can pick up more yards after contact than he has this year, moving the ball on the ground will be equally tough. That puts it in the hands of Taylor Heineke and his receivers against a defense that ranks 5th in DVO. I love the DVOA against the pass and allows just 211 yards per game. Defense should win out here, which tips the scales toward San Fran, even with that extra half point sticking out there. So take the 49ers to beat the communists. Where are they playing?
San Fran. Or Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Candlestick Park?
No. What's it called?
Levi Stadium.
Levi Stadium. 6.5? It's 6.5, right?
What is it? Is it 6.5?
I think I bet it at 6.5. I parlayed all our picks, so I was pretty sure it was 6.5.
Let me get the latest on that one. This is a 4. There's only a couple 4 p.m. games.
Yeah.
This is 6.5. It opened at 6.5, still 6.5. Well, 6.5 or 7, depending on where you bet it. So
yeah, we'll go 6.5.
We'll go 6.5.
I like the 6.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Caesar has it 6.5.
Do we know if Chase Young's playing or not yet, or no?
Yes, he's going to be activated.
Okay. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference because I'd put him out of pitch count, but if I was them.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah.
What's his name? Adam Schefter said that he's going to be on a pitch count, like
he should
maybe 15 plays or something.
First game in almost a year, right?
Yeah.
Over a year.
It's
been 13 months since he played. 13 or 14 months.
He'll probably come in on like the 3rd and 8, whatever.
Yeah. I really like this pick, Scott. I actually do like this pick. I wish I had picked it myself, but
I was surprised at how easy it made it for me doing the analysis. I'm like, they came through across the board right away, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I said, I can't believe it wasn't already picked.
I know Dan. I didn't do the show last week, but Dan said that you were mad that Dan snaked your pick last week.
I know, and then when I saw the game, I said, oh wow.
Yeah, he dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Do you know? I just want to say for the record, I totally screwed the pooch. At halftime, I was going to bet a couple bucks on the money line for the Vikings to come back and win. It was plus 2,100? Plus 2,100.
Oh wow!
I apparently didn't hit the button.
Yo, that's happened to me before where I thought I hit the button, like in fantasy, Yahoo. Yeah. I want to make a player change, and it's like 12:59 and 1 minute to go to 1 o'clock, and I thought I hit the button, and I look on my team, and the fucking Yahoo thing didn't put the guy in. I hit the button.
I wasn't going to put a lot on it. I was just going to throw, on stupid little bets. Sometimes I'll throw like $2 or $3 on it. So I was going to put like $3 on it. I could have swore I hit the button, but
yeah, I fucking that shit happened to me too, man.
I would have won $63. It just pissed me off. I was furious.
Yes, and as I mentioned last week, Brian, your pick was a gut pick last week.
I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Yeah, exactly. I was fucking stupid. I should have double checked it. That's my fault.
Well, Dan. According to you, all my picks are gut picks. So I don't listen to you because you're an idiot. So I don't give a shit what you think anyway. So.
I like Scott's pick this week though. I bet.
Yeah, I'm the idiot with the best record other than Bob.
By half game, dude. You're only half game ahead of me because I have a loss instead of a push.
Let's hear from BKO, the sports betting guru.
Bob.
All right. Let's see. I actually forgot my pick. Hold on, I gotta look at my pick.
just think Douglas O'Hearn.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. I was gonna actually look at all the scores. Yes, the Bengals. That's right. I picked the Bengals. I like the fact that they have the best record this year against the spread, 11-3. Dan didn't like the pick because the two best defensive ends are out, but actually one of them's going to play. Hendrickson is actually going to play. Now the other guy's out. That's a big loss. I don't know. I don't really have much analysis. I just trust Joe Burrow. I think he's in the clutch. He's amazing. I saw something today on his red zone efficiency. He's like the second best quarterback in the NFL in the red zone. He just knows how to score. He can make those tight throws. He's just Mr. Cool. Nothing phases him. Who are the Bengals playing, by the way?
New England. They're at New England.
Okay.
It's going to be about 17 degrees during the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Bob has the best record on the show.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. The weather's going to be awful.
Yes, this is why. So they're playing in New England. I guess the weather's going to be cold. Also the New England, they do have a really good defense, which will make it tough on Burrow. But I still think they'll score enough points. And Mac Jones stinks. And also the fact that they have a defensive coordinator as their offensive coordinator. He's been terrible all year. The Bengals defense never gets talked about with the 49ers or the Eagles or any of those teams like that, or the Cowboys. But the actual Bengals, they're one of the top 10 defenses all year. They're really good against the pass. I don't know. I might go the under. I don't usually do over under, but I might do the under in this game just because the weather's going to be so bad. I don't think the Bengals are going to score a lot of points, but I think they'll score enough, like maybe 21-13 to cover 3.5. I think they'll score enough points. I just don't trust Mac Jones and whoever their offensive coordinator is. I think it reminds me of when the Eagles had Juan Castillo, who was an offensive lineman, and Andy Reid fucking for some reason decides to make him the defensive coordinator.
He was an offensive line coach. He wasn't an offensive lineman.
Offensive line coach. And for some reason, Andy Reid decides to make him the fucking defensive coordinator, which made no sense.
And the other problem was he had Tim Washburn there, who forced him to play the stupid wide 9.
Yeah, so everyone thinks that Bill Belichick is some genius. I know he's won 6 Super Bowls, but I don't care who you are. This is dumb to have a defensive coordinator as your offensive coordinator.
The defense has scored a third of their points this season. That's how bad the offense has been.
I looked at their stats. They're like 28th in passing. They are 28th or 29th in passing big plays over 20 yards. They don't have any big play capability. They have a decent run. They've been running the ball. They have been running the ball pretty well lately, the last 3 or 4 games. But I just think that the Bengals have enough, especially on defense, to shut down the New England's offense. I think it's going to be low scoring because of the weather. But I think the Bengals 11-3. There's a reason you're 11-3 against the spread. So I'm going to go Bengals 3.5 against the Patriots.
Talking about over-unders, they said the Saints Cleveland game has the lowest over-under in like 3 years or something, because it's at 32 because they expect the weather in Cleveland to just be brutal. It's supposed to be a big snowstorm, I think. So it's supposed to be really bad. So that could be like a 6-3 kind of game.
Yeah.
So who is it? The Bengals playing the Pats?
Yeah.
And they're playing up in Foxborough?
Yeah, it's going to be 19 at game time, it's saying.
Nice.
which is warmer what it is right here right now. Did you guys get snow? I don't know if you guys got snow today.
No, it rained all day. Then we got some flurries, and that was it.
We have snow. I got to work today. I was supposed to go in the office, but the owner yesterday told everybody to stay home, work from home today, and cut out at 2. So that was kind of nice. So
Yeah, everything's dry. There wasn't any ice because they're afraid there was going to be that flash freeze. But the wind dried everything out, so it's fine out there other than the cold weather.
Yeah, the kids had a half day today, and Maggie was going to get out at 11. She was going to have to go to her first 3 classes, I think. So we just had her stay. We let her stay home. I mean, the kid, she would have had only 2 classes, and they were, with journalism,
How
study
old is
hall,
she?
and then she's a senior.
No, how old is she? What age?
Oh, she's 17.
Oh, so she can't write her own notes yet.
No, not yet. Next year.
Close. That was
But
the
yeah.
shit when you could write your own note.
Yeah, but I mean, they closed early, and then they actually got out even earlier because the buses were ahead of schedule. So, I mean, it was like, what's the point of going for 2 classes?
Yeah, I remember there was a kid. Yeah, that's funny. There was a kid. I remember when I went to CD West. There was a kid. He was a junior, and he had failed like 3 times, and he was 18. And I remember he wrote himself notes and shit. It was crazy. I'll never forget it.
And his name was Brian O'Hearn.
His name was Norris. It was DJ Norris. DJ Norris was his name. He failed 3 times, and he was 18, like the end of sophomore year. Is crazy. And he wrote himself notes. Like he wrote him like excuse.
Did he sign him? Did he sign him Epstein's mother?
Yeah, Epstein's. I have thinking of that. Signed. My son can't make it to school. Signed Epstein's mother.
Signed Epstein's mother. That was a great show. I love that show.
Let's hear from Ryan, The Office.
All right, so
Coming
here
off
we go.
of a major hangover from the office party.
Yeah, no, it was not pretty, ladies.
Talking to you about the only person in this world you control, and that's you.
Yeah, that's right. So this is kind of a gut pick in the vein of Brian O'Hearn, and I like, and I wanted to go with a big spread. I just got a feeling about this game. I mean, I look at the numbers. I'm going with the Chiefs -10 against the Seahawks. The Chiefs are at home. It's a home game. The Chiefs are actually only 4-9-1 against the spread this season, which is actually shocking to me. I guess it's because they have big spreads all the time. I know I bet on them earlier this season and won, so maybe I'm just picking the right games. While Seattle playing the Seahawks are actually 6-8 against the spread, so it's a little better, but obviously not much better. Seattle's going to be without Tyler Lockett this week, so DK Metcalf will be the clear number 1, and they'll have Goodwin will probably slot in at that number 2 spot. Kenneth Walker, I don't even know if he's healthy or not right now. It didn't really play into my pick.
Yeah, he's playing.
Like I said, it's a little bit of a gut pick, but
He's playing.
but that actually doesn't concern me that much because the Chiefs, while they may not have the greatest overall defense, they have a higher rated defense than the Cincinnati Bengals. They are 5th against the rush, so I'm not worried about Kenneth Walker. They are 22nd against the pass, but it's a day before Christmas. Pat Mahomes is going to want to kick the crap out of them so he can kind of relax and take care of now he's got 2 kids. Geno Smith is putting up decent numbers this year. It's not great. But their defense is the 29th rated defense in the
Yeah, they're terrible. The Seahawks defense is terrible.
Yeah, they're 31st against the rush, even though that's not really the Chiefs' game. If you watched the game last week, and if you played daily fantasy like I do, and put Jerick McKinnon in, you'll see that a lot of those little dump off passes to McKinnon. I get it's the pass game, but still, it all bears upon the running back there. Getting some extra yardage. So the defense, the Seahawks are 31st against the run.
I think they're also one of the worst teams in getting sacks, and I don't think they get a pass rush either.
Yeah. So I'm not really worried. I think this week is going to be one of those ones where they really want to hammer it down. They're not going to let, like, who did they get ahead of? They got ahead of a couple of weeks ago. They got out big really early. Was it Denver?
Yeah, Denver came
then
back.
They kind of let Denver creep back in. Then that's just kind of they took the foot off the pedal. I don't think that. Then they played last week. They just didn't play that great. But
yeah, they played the Texans.
They're at home. They're at home. It's the day before. It's Christmas Eve. I mean, it's a 1:00 game. But like I said, it'll give them time to get home and be with their families a little bit more time. They're gonna have Christmas Day off, and I expect Pat Mahomes to deliver some big numbers this week against Seattle and cover that 10 spread. Maybe it's going to be. I'm going to say it's going to be 2 touchdown win by the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's a load of crap.
That's right. It's a load of crap, but it's better than a Bob. It's probably better than the Bob.
Yo, you gotta hope. Yo, you gotta worry about that backdoor cover again, man.
Yeah, I never really worry about it, but
except last week, right?
It does come back and bite you in the ass on occasion. I'm not afraid of it, but again, you pick good teams. These big spreads are not they're not for the faint of heart. They're for guys who are willing to take a chance and I put my money where my mouth is. I've already bet the game at 10. So
unless and until you can look each other in the eye and say, you know what? We've done everything we can do. I am totally at peace with this. I don't hate you. I don't resent you. I don't have any bad feelings or unfinished emotional business with you. I can say, go and be well, and I'm going to do the same thing. Unless and until you can say that, you're not ready to get a divorce.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Hey, the funny thing about that is, Scott, is Brian used to always call me his Dr. Phil, so it actually is very, very appropriate. So, but no, I'm good with this. I'm sure if I looked at the money, I guarantee the money's probably on Seattle, and it is on Seattle, 62% to 38%. But you know what? You don't get a record like I have by taking the easy route. Next year when you get the shirt. I like big spreads. It should have like a guy with big balls. I'm going to pass on that one, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. I'll get something that says funny. I'll get a funny shirt, but yeah, I'm probably not going to put testicles on the shirt, so we're good.
It could be boulders. It could be boulders. It could be
but we're okay. We're okay with it. I'll keep it classy. If I was going to do anything with spreads, I would do something else. So, you went to the guy.
Grow up.
I would have gone to the female thing. So that's just the difference between our trains of thought. So I know you're gay. You always like to talk about guys, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's your lifestyle,
Hope you get ass cancer and die, you son of a bitch.
That's the most painful death, by the way, from what I understand. I would never wish that on anybody. But yeah, bet your money. Bet this week. Bet Dan's money. He probably got he's probably doing pretty good for himself still. So bet Brian's money too. He probably got his check last Friday.
That's a funny story.
Unless he spent it all at the bar.
He actually went to the bank to deposit it.
No, you didn't.
He did. He went to the bank. He doesn't have the app on his phone.
Wow.
You stood in line with all the old people?
No, I went into the machine. You can stick the check in the machine, in the ATM machine. You can stick your check in there.
Man, you are
19. What's that? 1990.
You're really high tech there. You didn't have to go to the teller. Wow.
No, yeah, I used the machine. I used the ATM machine.
Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back.
As soon as Rand handed it to me, man, I clocked out, man. I walked across. I didn't want that check in my pocket, man. I put it right in the bank.
How was your cattleman's cut? Oh wait, your prime rib.
No, he took it off the fucking menu.
Well, how was your prime rib? Did you have prime rib though?
Yeah. I had to sit at the kiddie table, so that was always fun.
You had to hold a doll.
Yeah, I sat next to Jeremy's kids, and the receptionist has 2 kids, so I sat at the kiddie table.
So I take it you didn't get drunk at the party?
I had a couple beers, but then I went to the Krog. So. Rich Kugel gave me a ride.
Yeah, and then Dan skipped the party, right? You skipped the party.
He leaves at 10:30. He didn't want to come back to the office, right?
Yeah, unless they had it in town. If they were gonna have something in town, I would have gone back for that. I'm not going over there for that. I don't really love that place anyway.
Yeah, Constantine's parents own that. Our lawyer, one of the lawyers in our office, their parents own the pub. It was pretty cool.
You went to cheerleaders?
No, the pub.
Now he would be broke if he went there, Scott.
I was lucky when I used to go to the strip clubs when I was younger. I didn't have any money, but Carl used to pay for me all the time, so that worked out. I probably owe Carl like a couple $1,000.
You owe him a lap dance.
Well, I don't even know what state he lives in anymore.
Texas. He lives in Texas.
That's cool.
Danny D, the 5 head of knowledge. Let's have the pick.
Sure. First off, I want to call out the I think he was the director of photography for Die Hard, Jan de Bont. He said last week that Die Hard was not a Christmas movie.
Bruce Willis said the same thing.
I mean, what's wrong with these people?
You know what? It only matters. There's only one person mattered anyway. Reginald Bell Johnson. He said it was a Christmas movie.
Good for him. He's the only one who's right. The rest of these people are full of shit. They think on Christmas Eve. It's a damn Christmas movie. So screw them. All right. I am taking the Red Hot
Why
Detroit
is it a
Lions.
Christmas movie? Is there Christmas scenes in the movie or something?
They have a Christmas party. They have a Christmas tree.
It's
They
Christmas
hear
Eve.
Christmas music during the movie. One of the songs when they're first driving up is a Christmas song. It's a Christmas movie.
Oh, and
Anyway.
speaking of which, by the way, last week they had a category, Final Jeopardy category, was action movies. And it's around Christmas, so I said, Die Hard, because it's Christmas time. And it turned out to be the last. Basically, it says the last line of this movie is, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't know it word for word. If this is the kind of party they have at Christmas, I can't wait to see what they do on New Year's.
Yeah, it's Die Hard.
It's the last line of the movie by our
truths are a lie.
guy, by the limo driver, which
Yes.
is awesome. So I love the movie. That's a great movie. I watch it like every day.
Yeah, and the guy who hacks into the computer to open the safe in that movie.
He just died recently.
Yes, he just
He
died.
did. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he was in Walker, Texas Rangers, what most people know him from. He played Trevor.
But, yeah, well, he was good in Die Hard like everybody else.
He was good in that. And he was in Top Gun, Brian's favorite movie.
That's
Which-
right.
Top Gun Maverick. Ooh, I might be able to watch that tonight. I think it's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, where Charlie, the character, was originally supposed to be a man, but they changed it. But anyway, I am taking Scott's Red Hot Detroit Lions, who've won 6 out of 7. They are 10-4 against the spread this season. At the Carolina Panthers, -2.5. Carolina lost fairly easily to a
Not a
too
thing
big
wrong
Steelers
with
team
what
last
you
week.
just said, and God bless you for claiming that right.
Thank you,
Sponsored by
Dr.
Dr. Phil, our show, by the way. Sponsored by
Yeah,
Dr.
right. Dr. Phil's a quack. But anyway, I don't have much analysis on this one. The weather should be okay compared to the rest of the country in Carolina. I think it's going to be about 30 degrees. Carolina's defense is okay. Their offense stinks. Whereas Detroit's the opposite. Their offense is good, but their defense isn't great. They kind of stink. But they've been better the last several weeks. Despite giving up a lot of yards, they've tended to not bend but not break and not give up a lot of points. They defeated the Jets last week, destroying Scott's pick because he didn't know Zach Wilson was starting.
No Fuckers. Thanks for informing me during the show. I was like, no, I'm still going to go with it. Well, you saw what happened.
But Detroit's won 6 out of 7. As I said, they're 10-4 against the spread. Carolina, just I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they've been better lately, but they beat some really bad teams. But that performance against Pittsburgh last week was pretty discouraging because Pittsburgh isn't great, and their offense isn't great, but they couldn't really do anything. You gave up 24 points to them. They didn't score like they usually don't.
Yeah, they gave like 200 yards rushing to the Steelers too.
Yeah. So, and Detroit's been running the ball better too lately. What's his name? Williams, the running back, has I think he leads the league in rushing touchdowns at 14. As Brian told me, his nugget of the week, where Jameson Williams should play more this week.
Yeah.
They have a good offense.
Don't forget.
Really well.
Don't forget about Craig Reynolds, the running back. He's from Kutztown.
Hey, Brian,
He's a key part. He's a key part of the Lions' offense.
He holds the clipboard very well.
He should have been. You know, Brian, that the guy that I work with, my buddy Garrett at work, he's friends with him. He
Craig Reynolds?
Yeah, he texts. Yeah, he texts him all the time. Yeah.
That's cool shit, man.
They played football together at Kutztown. But yeah, I mean, when they brought in, they brought Williams in this year, didn't they? Was it this year?
Jameson Williams, yeah.
Yeah, no, not Jameson Williams, the running back Williams.
Oh, Craig Reynolds. I think it was last year.
So Reynolds has actually lost snaps. He played really well last year when they had. I think he was the third string last year and then Swift went down, so he was the backup. He put in some good numbers. But this year when they brought in Williams and everything, it's kind of like cut into his PT. I actually drafted Craig Reynolds in a dynasty league. Because I know
Golden Bears, baby.
Yeah, I know that he's a good running back when he's given the opportunity to play. So, so yeah, there you go.
Shout out to Kutztown. It's a small world, 6 degrees of separation. Ryan is only 1 degree away from Craig Reynolds, right? 1 degree.
Is it technically 2? No, yeah, 1. Yeah.
1 degree, right?
Right, you're 2. So yeah.
So anyway,
I was at football camp in high school, and we played Passaic, and it was helmets only, no pads, just helmets. Scrimmage Passaic, and the running back for Passaic was Ironhead Hayward.
Nice.
And then one of the guys clobbered our quarterback, knocked him on his ass, and the coach says, "God damn it, there's no hitting." And the guy says, "Coach, I didn't hit him. I just bopped him and he fell down."
I gave him a love tap.
He's like, "I just bopped him and he fell down."
He had a good career.
Hit him.
He had a good NFL career.
So did his son. Son's pretty good too.
Yeah.
That's right, for the Steelers, right?
Yeah, both of his sons played for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Well, and
He was one of John Madden's favorite players too.
they had like 100 guys on the sidelines, and then every time a player did a bad thing, the coach would say, "God damn it, you suck! Get on the sideline. So and so get in." I mean, the coach was just brutal. And we were saying, "God, I don't think we could play for a coach like that." He's like, "Get the hell off the field. Get another guy in here. This guy sucks."
So anyway, to wrap this up, by the way, PJ Tucker's played 20 minutes tonight, 0 points. I know Brian's happy about that. But take Detroit 2.5 over Carolina. I think they should cover. Basically, all they have to do is win. I mean, I know most NFL games are within 1 score, but this is less than 1 score. I don't think it'd be a 1 or 2 point game. Just because Detroit's offense has played really well and Carolina can't score. Detroit doesn't have to have a Herculean effort here. If they score, they could win this game like 27-17 or something, or 24-17. I don't think Carolina's going to. I know Detroit's defense isn't great, but they played better lately, and I don't think Carolina can take advantage of it. I mean, they have such terrible quarterback problems. Sam Darnold sucks. The other guy,
right?
Huh?
In Carolina?
Yeah, they're in Carolina. Yeah, otherwise I think it'd be a bigger spread. I mean, much bigger.
Yeah.
If they're playing in Detroit indoors with perfect conditions,
Right.
I think it'd be like a 7 or 8 point spread. I think they'll blow them out even worse. But, they have to deal. But the weather shouldn't be as bad there. Say like Ohio, New England, those places where it's just going to be ridiculous. Like Kansas City game, it's going to be 13 degrees in the Kansas City game on Sunday or tomorrow. So, put your money on Detroit. They've been good this year against the spread. They made a lot of money for people. And I think they should be able to cover 2.5 against a not so great Carolina team.
And what Dan's leaving out What Dan's leaving out for the audience is that he's special interest in that game because he's in the semifinals of the Fantasy Football League, and he has Jared Goff as his quarterback.
My team sucks.
And St. Ra and St. Brown.
Yeah, and St. Brown. Go Lions, right, Dan?
That's right.
Yeah, you're really playing the victim.
We need to put a disclaimer out there for all of our NFL stars who and coaches and anybody who works in the NFL that although we give these picks out, don't take our picks. Don't bet on NFL games. Don't gamble at all. You don't want to get suspended like Miles Austin.
That's ridiculous what he got suspended for.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference for the Jets last night, but
No, but he bet on table games.
in a league that is sponsored in part by gambling sites, it's absolutely ridiculous that. I mean, I get that you don't want them gambling on the game, but if the guy's got clear evidence that he gambled on table games or slots or whatever online, which is perfectly legal in certain states, I know it is here in Pennsylvania, then it's an absolute ridiculous thing that in New Jersey was before us. So if he's what's stopping him from going to a casino and doing the same exact thing?
Yeah.
He's doing it in private at his own home from his phone or a computer, whatever. So the NFL does stand for No Fun League for their employees.
But in Deshaun Watson's case, you can sexually harass 24 women and only get 11 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like I look at the decision what they did with Bauer. Getting Major League Baseball giving Bauer 2 years. I get it. It got overturned. But I mean, obviously, like the NFL doesn't really care about women as much as Major League Baseball does. Otherwise, Deshaun Watson should have been suspended for the entire season, which is what.
Well, they did. I think they wanted to suspend him for the season.
They're too much. They wavered too much. They're not as.
No, it was the whole. It was the process. I think they wanted to give him a season, but then Watson had the right to appeal to this neutral arbitrator, this lady in Baltimore, in Delaware. So she decided only 7-game suspension for him. So they negotiated with him for the 11 games that he got. Otherwise, there's been a whole big court battle.
Yeah, that was stupid. That arbitrator was dumb, then, and it was just to show you that she probably gets backdoor money somewhere she probably gets sponsors or something like that to say, oh, we need to get this guy, make sure he's playing because he's a superstar. The dude sucks.
What's the Browns' record since he came back?
They suck.
1-3.
Like seriously, like they've given up on the run game practically. Nick Chubb, if you look at Chubb, had 99 yards last week. That's his biggest output since Deshaun Watson came back. They were a better team with
Bryce.
Brisket.
Yeah, I can't think of his freaking name.
Brissett. No,
Yeah,
their numbers. They were like fourth in offensive efficiency with Brissett, and they're like 26th or something with Watson. They're not very good.
Yeah.
He's terrible. That game could be a fun one to watch. That could just be a disaster.
They're paying him so much money, they got to play him.
They have to, but it's like they probably would have been better off staying with Brissett.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Browns for
we
you,
know
wasn't
that.
it?
We could have told him that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I have the same problem with being a Yankees fan. They're playing Josh Donaldson because they have to. They're paying him $25 million. Otherwise, they wouldn't play him because he sucks ass.
Yeah.
But Miles Austin's attorney said he bet on table games and other non-football related sports. I don't see the problem. It's ridiculous.
Neither do I. So I hope he's vindicated and he doesn't get and he gets reinstated immediately.
Yeah, he should sue the NFL. That's just stupid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right, recapping. I'm taking the 49ers minus 6.5. BKO.
Bengals minus 3.5 at New England.
Office.
Chiefs minus 10 against at home against the Seahawks.
5-head.
I am taking Detroit minus 2.5 at Carolina.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Hey, good luck.
Happy Hanukkah. See you guys next week.
All right,
Good
see you
luck,
next
guys.
week.
All right, take care, guys.